I am 69 years old and I just moved to a new town where I don't know a soul. But you know what? This is not my first rodeo. I have moved to a lot of new towns in the last several years, and I think I've come up with some great tips and tricks for getting started in a new location to make it fun, easy, and comfortable. If you're new here, welcome in. I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything beauty, fitness, and lifestyle for the over 50 and over 60 woman. Like I mentioned, I'm 69 years old and I'm starting over again. I hope you'll consider subscribing while you're here and make sure you click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you want all the good stuff, you might want to sign up for my Sunday morning email newsletter. The link is in the description box down below. Every Sunday morning, I send out a very short, very sweet, very, very popular email newsletter. Truly, it's the most popular thing about my channel. And the newsletter features all the cool things I found throughout the week, whether it's a great sale or a good piece of information or something I think that you might really want to try. That's what goes in the Sunday morning email newsletter. It's super easy to sign up, super free, super fun. Ladies wake up on Sunday morning, pour their coffee, read the Sunday morning email newsletter, watch the Sunday morning video. It's a whole thing. Super popular. Link is in the description box down below. I think you're going to love it. Well, as I mentioned, I have moved around quite a bit in the last 10 years, and I've kind of cracked the code, at least for me, on how to slip into a new town, have it be comfortable and smooth and very, very manageable. I'm going to be sharing my very best tips with you today. The first one is almost the most important, or at least for me, it has come in so very handy. And that tip is to start a record of what you'll be participating in your new town. And you can do this even if you haven't moved for 40 years. It's probably going to end up being helpful. I start a text document, and at the very top, I put the new location and everything that I get involved in, from the utility companies to the internet companies to the gym that I join to the yoga place to where I'm going to buy my grass-fed, grass-finished beef. Everything goes in that text document. I put in the account number if it's a utility. I put the phone number if it's a utility. I put the address. Any information that I'm going to need with that utility goes in that text document. In addition, as I start looking around for the different services that I might need, maybe it's a oil change facility, or maybe it's a yoga studio I want to try, or maybe it's a yarn shop, I will put it all in that text document. I use a program called Evernote, which I find very, very handy because I can have it on my phone and on my computer. And I start with everything at the very top. What do you think goes on the very top? My address, my new address. I cannot tell you how many times I've been somewhere and somebody will say, "What's your address?" And for some reason, although I know it, I'll just blank on it. Well, I can pull up my phone and I have my address and my zip code all there right on my phone. So that text document has come in so very handy for me. Not only can I quickly reference who's my gas company or who's the internet company, but when I leave, I can go ahead and quickly cancel out those services or make the changes that I need. I'm not looking around for bills, or I'm not looking around for this. Everything is contained in that text document. In addition, when I find something that I'm interested in or I like, or it might be something I want to pursue down the road, I will put it in that document so that it's easy for me to find. For instance, I was researching, where do I find my grass-fed, grass-finished beef in this area? I don't spend a lot of time in grocery stores. I get most of my food from alternative sources just because I like to eat what comes out of the ground, not what comes out of a cardboard box or a can. So I will research where I'm going to be finding my food, and all that documentation goes in that text note. I've already found a local rancher a little bit up the state from me, but they do ship, and I've already got my first shipment from them. And I also found a local rancher that has some items that the other rancher doesn't have, like bones for bone broth and a few steaks. I'm going to contact them this week and see if I can swing by and pick up an order. And that was all contained in the text document that I put together before I even got here when I was doing my preliminary research. So one of the best tips I can give you if you're moving to a new town, if you're starting over from the very beginning, like I am in a new town, start that text document. It's going to come in so very handy. Every night, just about every night, I have yogurt. This is store-bought yogurt, and then I make El Reuteri yogurt, which has really good little bacteria for your gut. I'll put a link down below how to make this. Every night I have yogurt, these two types of yogurt, with some fruit. I love it. I put little walnuts or pecans on the top. It's like, oh, so very yummy, and it's good for my gut, a little bit of protein and some fresh fruit. Lately, I have gone all the way down the persimmon rabbit hole. Oh my gosh, I am so in love with persimmons right now. And this persimmon came from Facebook. That's right. And let me just show you, this was a locally grown, organically grown persimmon. This is the persimmon I got at the grocery store. Look at this thing. Compare it to this one right here. I mean, can you even believe the difference? This is so very beautiful. And I found this on Facebook Marketplace. What I do is I just pull up Facebook Marketplace. I type in organic in the search bar, and it pulls up all the local people, just regular neighbors, that are growing organic fruit, and they have more than they need, and they're happy to sell them. So I got a huge bag. I think there was like more than probably almost 20 persimmons. She said it was going to be 15. I think she threw some extra in for $10. So I got gorgeous, locally grown, organic persimmons off of Facebook, which I thought was a great find. Facebook Marketplace has become such a gold mine for connecting with the people in your community that either have something you want or need something you want to sell, or do something, a service that you need. And I have utilized the heck out of it. I sold all my furniture up in Oregon through Facebook Marketplace, and I'll tell you, it is so efficient. And the way that we have kind of figured out how to do it, those of us who sell and buy off of Facebook Marketplace, is so smooth and so easy. Quite often what I'll do is just say, okay, I'll put it out on the porch. You go by and grab it, stick the money under the mat, and we're good to go. And that has worked every single time. It's not as though someone's going to drive up to your house, take something and not pay for it. It just doesn't happen because there's kind of that connectivity where you can see their profile and there's a little rating, and it just is a comfortable way to do it. Every single piece of furniture that I have purchased, with the exception of the bed and the bed frame because I needed something specific, everything else came from Facebook Marketplace. And it wasn't as though I had to know anybody in town. I didn't. I just connected with them. They could see my profile. I saw what they wanted, and the same thing. I'd say, just leave it out on the front porch. I'll swing by and get it. Now, the larger pieces, the sofa and the dining table, I needed some help getting those back to my place because they were big. And I have a sedan. I don't have a truck. What I did is I hopped on Facebook Marketplace. I typed in furniture delivery and nothing really came up. What came up were companies that will move an entire house for you. I just needed a guy with a truck. So what I thought I would do is like, okay, who has a truck and who might be willing to do a smaller job like that? And I typed in junk removal because there's a lot of people that will come out and pick up your junk just as a little side gig. So I typed in junk removal, and what came up were men in the area that had a truck that would remove your junk. Well, I picked one of the names and I sent him a message and I said, I have a piece of furniture, this in particular was a sofa, that I need picked up in my town and delivered just a few miles away into my new place. And you know what he said? He said, great. $65. I just couldn't believe it. He was so nice. He's a local contractor, and during the slower season, the rainy season, he does this just as a little side job to pick up some extra cash. Well, he picked up the sofa for me, brought it back to my house. He was super, super nice. I paid him a little more than $65 because honestly, I thought it was worth it. Well, came time for me to bring home the dining room table that I found. Could not fit that in my car. The legs did not unscrew. So again, I was back to needing a guy with a truck. I hopped back on Facebook and I said, hey, this is Kimberly. I was the gal that you moved the sofa for. Can you move this dining room table for me? And he said, absolutely. I ended up giving him the address of where the table was located because I'd already gone over and taken a look at it, paid for it. He swung by the address. They had put it conveniently for him down at the bottom of the driveway, and then he and his son carried into my place. So everything from the furniture that I needed to pick up to delivery of that furniture came off Facebook Marketplace. All I do is I go into the marketplace and I start typing in keywords of what I'm looking for. If you haven't used Facebook Marketplace, I can tell you 100% of the interactions I've had on Facebook Marketplace have really been great because we're just talking to each other. We're just talking to our neighbors, and they're people just like you, and they want to have a good experience just like you. So definitely moving to a new area or finding something new in your area, even if you've been there for decades, super convenient place to not only find great organic food, but furniture and someone to deliver it for you. So things are clipping along good at your new place. You found where to find good food. You've got your furniture all set up. You're taking advantage of the community around you through Facebook Marketplace. What happens when you want to start having fun? And you know what's funny is so often, because I have moved a lot in the last several years, I love seeing new places. One of the questions I get quite a bit in the comment section is, I would move, but I'm afraid I won't meet anybody. I'm afraid I'd be lonely. And I understand that, but let me tell you, and I can say this from experience, don't worry about it. I've been to a lot of different places. Every single location, there was people there. I'm not kidding you. There's people there, sometimes too many. And even though I'm in a new town and I don't know a soul, I really don't. I mean, I grew up down the valley about 45 minutes from here, half an hour to 45 minutes. I don't know anybody in this local town. And you know what? I'm not looking for anybody right now. I'm kind of laying low because I'm tired. I have a lot to do and I just don't have the bandwidth right now for a social life. However, I do know as soon as I'm ready, as soon as everything's done around here and I've gotten some extra rest and I am looking then to start getting involved in fun activities in the community, I know right where to go. In my experience, one of the best places to meet people is on Meetup. Meetup is an online platform for people just like you and just like me who like to do stuff. It doesn't matter if you're a knitter or a hiker or a kayaker, or if you love to drink coffee, or if you like board games, or if you're a Bitcoiner, or if you're an investor, or if you're a computer programmer, or if you're a real estate investor. It doesn't matter what your interests are. There's probably going to be a meetup group that's perfect for you. I can share a very, very successful experience with Meetup. Several years ago, I moved from the Mendocino Coast area, which is on the northern coast of California, to Reno. And I was in South Reno because it was very near Lake Tahoe, and I'm a fanatical kayaker, and I wanted to be able to get up to the lake really quick. That was a good location for me. I moved there on my own, by myself, didn't know a soul, and It was 2021, right in the middle of the lockdowns. Everybody's walking around with a mask on, hiding in their houses, that whole thing. I didn't know anyone. And I sat in my apartment and I thought, how can I get to know people? I am a hiker. I love to hike, and I had lived in the Lake Tahoe area a few years back and spent a lot of time hiking. So I thought maybe, just maybe, there are other people like me who don't want to sit in the house. They want to get outside and do fun stuff. So I thought I'm going to start a hiking club on Meetup, and that's what I did. It's called Easy Fun Hiking Over 40. Why the easy? Because there are a lot of people that don't want hard hikes. Fun, because everybody wants to have fun. Over 40, why? Because I wanted to meet people my age. And I thought over 50 was a little bit exclusive. The group might be a little bit smaller. So I called it Easy Fun Hiking Over 40. My expectations were not high because it was in the middle of the lockdowns, but I did think that if I could find just 4 or 5 other people that'd like to get outside, do some hiking, we could make friends with each other, start doing other things, then it was a win. Well, guess what? Not only did I get those 4 or 5 people, I got so many people that were interested. We ended up having a wonderful group. We did a hike every single week. We started a monthly potluck. And when I left the area, I passed the group along to one of the members. It is now over 2,000 people in the over 40 Easy Fun hiking group. I'm not kidding you. And now that I'm back in this area, I might travel up there during the summer and do a couple of hikes with that group just for a feel-good experience that I started something during the lockdowns that has ended up being such a gift to so many people. If you haven't been on Meetup, I'll have it linked down below in the description box, and you can go check it out. You just type in your zip code. It will show you all the groups around you and what they're interested in. Some towns have very few groups. Some towns have a lot of groups. When I was in Oregon, there were very, very few. Now that I'm back in California, there is a ton in my community, including a bird watching group, and I think I'm going to join it because that sounds like fun to me. So when you're ready to get social, or if you're worried about meeting new people in your community, I can really tell you it's not going to be a problem. You will meet people. You'll either meet them at the gym, or you'll meet them at the health food store, or you'll meet them at the farmer's market, or you'll meet them at yoga. There's just so many different ways that you're going to meet people. It's never been a worry for me, and every single place I've traveled to, there are people there. Actually, lots and lots of people. So don't be worried about your social life. It will actually magically come to you. This is my current yarn basket. It's a little excessive, don't you think? I sure do. How did it get like this? Well, there's a local yarn shop about 4 minutes from my house that sells the most beautiful hand-dyed wool yarn. And I can't get enough of it. Look at this. Every time I go in there, I tell her not to let me in. For at least a month. So far, she has not abided by that rule. So how do you find the more random things that you need in your life when you move to a new area? Just like this, you go in the yarn store or whatever kind of store you're interested in. This little gal owns this store. She's just a community member, and she has classes and little get-togethers where people knit and crochet together in the evening. So when I'm ready, I can go down there and join in and meet other ladies that are going to be as passionate as I am about yarn. I don't know how this happened, but apparently it happened in a big way. And that's a wonderful resource for me, knowing that's available when I'm ready to get social. Once you get comfortable with reaching out into the community, you're going to find lots and lots of different ways to not only find what you need, recognize services that you might be using in the future. You will find a way to get super creative about making things work in your new location. One of the recent things that I figured out is I'm going on a trip soon with some of you. We are going on a group trip down to the Yucatan. Well, that's about 6 weeks away, and I've got to start thinking about what am I going to do with Lucy, my pup. I'm going to need a pet sitter. I did go on Facebook Marketplace, typed in pet sitter. Nothing really came up, so I thought, what can I do? What I decided to do was to go to a local pet store. Not like a PetSmart or a more corporate one, but a local pet store, because I thought that's where the locals are probably going to shop. I went in the store and I marched right on over to their bulletin board and started looking, and lo and behold, guess what I found? Several different cards for pet sitters. And I knew that that's where the information would be, because if you're a pet sitter, you're going to go to the business where pet owners go to. So I just took my phone and I took pictures of all the different pet sitters that were available, and that's who I'm going to contact in order to find a pet sitter for my little Lucy Doo. I've been in town for almost 2 weeks now, and I've already found a hairdresser. How did I do that? I hopped on my phone, went to the Maps app, typed in hairstylist. It pulled up all the hairstylists in my community, all the ones that are listed, on the Google Maps, and I just started reading reviews for all of them. Now, ladies, we know that finding a good hairdresser is harder than finding a good husband. So I wasn't really, thinking I was going to find someone right away. But I did pick someone that I found on the maps, the Google Maps, that had good reviews. She was fairly near to my house, and I went ahead and I made an appointment for a haircut. Just a haircut, not color, because I just wanted to get a haircut and kind of get a feel for the thing. I had no expectations that she was going to be the hairdresser that I would use, because finding one right out of the gate, that doesn't happen, does it? Except she cut my hair, and I love it. I loved her. I loved her professionalism. I could watch as she was doing it. I could tell she really knew what she was doing. She asked just the right questions. The whole thing went really, really well. And so luckily for me, I feel like I've already found my hairdresser. So that is one box I can tick off, and I'm good to go. There are lots and lots of ways to get connected in the community and have fun with it. Make it a game. Make it something that you enjoy, hunting and pecking around for the services and the people that are going to be a part of your life as you move forward. Those are my best tips and tricks for starting over at any age. Again, I'm 69. I just moved to a new community. I don't know a soul, and I'm so excited about what's going to come next. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section down below, and I'll do my best to get them answered. Thank you so much for stopping by today. If you're planning a move, whether it was wanted or not, just hold in your heart that this could be the exciting journey you've been looking for. You guys know it just tickles me when you take a few minutes out of your day to spend it with me. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything beauty, fitness, and lifestyle for the over 50 and over 60, almost 70-year-old woman. I think my 70s are going to be so much fun. Make it a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.